On June 19, 1905, the first theater in the world devoted exclusively to showing movies opened in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It had 96 seats and netted a profit of $1,000 in the first week. The motion picture industry was off to a profitable start. The first screening of a motion picture for a paying audience took place 10 years earlier, in 1895. Two French brothers, the Lumieres, had developed a device that would both photograph and project celluloid film. They called it the cinematograph, which gave us the name that most of the world calls the medium, the cinema. In 1896, Thomas Edison, who had earlier invented the peep show machine called the kinetoscope, designed a projector he named the vitascope. The United States and France were in the forefront of filmmaking technology until World War I, when French film production was curtailed. Around 1903, film distribution was organized and expanded through film exchanges. The number of film theaters in the United States increased dramatically. From only a few in 1905, the number grew to between 8 and 10,000 by 1908. They were called Nickelodeons, meaning nickel theater. Most were makeshift facilities and converted storefronts. They showed about an hour's worth of films for an admission price of 5 to 10 cents. The length of films became standardized at 12 to 15 minutes, which was the amount of film one reel could hold. The Nickelodeons initially appealed to working-class audiences, but as the decade went on, the theaters drew more and more middle-class audiences. By 1907, the gross income from film production was greater than the total revenues of legitimate theater and vaudeville combined. In 1908, there were about 20 motion picture companies operating in the U.S. By 1910, attendance at movie theaters rose to 26 million people a week. Some producers began creating ambitious multi-reel films called features. These longer, more sophisticated films appealed to the growing middle-class audience because of their similarity to legitimate theater. Producers constantly tried out new ideas to enhance the movie-going experience. Many silent films were accompanied by live musicians who played a score and even made sound effects. Dialogue and plot explanation was shown on title cards. The first American film genre to be developed was the Western. Comedies were also very successful because of the universal appeal of physical humor. Silent film stars were born, like Charlie Chaplin. In the 1920s, gangster films, war films, and horror movies were all produced. The greatest star of the era was Rudolph Valentino, seen here in The Chic. The jazz singer starring Al Jolson would change everything. Movies could now talk.
Oh, God, I hope I'm not late. Sally, don't you know me? It's a little crazy. I'd walk a million miles for one of your smiles.
Movie stars have come and gone, and film styles have changed many times. But going to the movies is still an important part of our culture. And it all began on June 19th, 1905.